Okay, over the past few weeks, AI has been accelerating at a scary fast pace. One of the things that really stood out to me over this period is ChatGPT's new image generation model. Now, a lot of people are making things like cartoons with this or making themselves like an action figure. But one of the things that I thought I wanted to try was to see if it could really help me in my daily job in paid advertising. So I wanted to test this to see if it can make ad creatives and basically make ad creatives that I believe will convert well as well. So, on my daily job, basically, I communicate with different graphic designers as well as art directors as well, depending on the different clients that I'm working with. And sometimes, if I put in a brief for a creative, so a creative being the ad that I want to run, whether that's an image or a video, it can take up to 7 days in some cases to actually get something back that I feel is worth using. So, basically, what I do is I put a brief into the graphic designer, say, this is what I'm looking for. They'll send me the imagery back. I will then review it, maybe make some suggestions, and we'll go back and forward that way. So when I obviously seen this new Chat GPT model, I wanted to test to see if it can help speed up that overall process. And it has really blown my mind at how good it can make some of these creatives. So in this video, I want to jump into showing you some of the creatives that I have made with Chat GPT and show you how you can do the exact same for your business or service and show you the different prompts that I used to generate these images. So let's jump into the video right now. All right, so here we are on the first slide, and this is some of the images that I have generated using ChatGPT's new image generation model. Everything you see has completely been generated using only AI. There is no Photoshop or no Canva or anything like that. It's all 100% prompting, and I'll show you the prompt that I use. It's very similar for each one of these images. For each one of these, all I basically gave it was the product image, which in this case would have been just this protein tub. It never had any fire or anything around about it. It was literally just a standard protein supplement tub. The same with this one. I just gave it a generic black bottle, and this one like a pillow, for example. In a couple of the cases, I gave it multiple images. So this one, for example, I gave it the toothbrush as well as a background to reference and use as something that it can basically get inspiration from. So in this video, or the rest of this video, what I plan on doing is just showing you how I made some of these, maybe 3 or 4 of these, show you how the prompt looks and how you can basically apply the exact same thing to your business or service to get similar images. And then at the end, we'll try one from scratch with a product that I've not actually tested yet, and we'll see what sort of outcome we get using the same prompt. So let's get into the rest of the video, and we'll start by running through some of these images. The first one being this anabolic monster beef here. All right, so here is the first image that I want to run over. This is actually my favorite one that I've created so far, just because I think it looks really eye-catching and it's something that I would actually use in the ads if this was my brand as well. So for this one, we've used this prompt on the left-hand side, which again is similar to all of the prompts for each one of the images, and you'll be able to use this for your brand or service as well. All you need to do is change out some of the key things that we'll run over in a second. And then this is the 2 images that I gave it. The first one is just a protein powder tub. And again, this is not my brand or my client's brand. I just Googled protein powder. I seen this tub. It stood out to me just for the colors, number one, and also the name, which is called Monster Beef. So with it having the word monster in it, I felt that I could get some good imagery for the ad that I was trying to generate using ChatGPT. The second image I gave it was just a monster that I found on Google. I just typed the word in monster, or maybe even muscly monster, something like that. And this is what I found. So I gave it only these 2 and I gave it 1 prompt, and this is what it generated, which is again, seriously amazing in my opinion. This could potentially take a graphic designer a lot of time if they only had these 2 assets to generate something as well polished as this. So a couple of the things that really stood out to me on this one was number one, the basically making the protein powder tub look like it's almost like on fire or like it's been scorched with fire or lava. And then the other thing that I thought was really cool was the placement of the monster between the text. Now, if you're a graphic designer, obviously you can get an idea of what will read well in terms of if you overlap an image with text. A lot of people do this on like their YouTube thumbnails, where you still understand the word if you put maybe something in front of the text. So in this case, the monster is in front of the word strong. But in my opinion, you still understand only for the strong. Maybe I'm wrong there. If I am, just let me know and we can see what other people think on that one. But I think the placement is pretty cool, especially considering it's an AI model that's doing this and not a designer. So let me just run through the prompt and show you some of the key things that I used when making specifically this image. But again, this is just a generic first stage prompt, and I use this prompt to get the AI to understand what I'm trying to do, number one, and number two, generate me ideas that I know it will understand because it's generated them on its own. And then I just choose one of the three ideas. So let's run through this together. So this is just for obviously a supplement. I have this brand, it's a supplement brand, and the product we are selling is a protein powder. The product is called Monster Beef. I'm thinking of image ad ideas I could make for Facebook ads. So again, I'm just prompting it with general information at the moment. I was thinking that the image should be like the protein powder tub in the center with text on top. So just the general structure I'm trying to give it here. The text will be white and bold with the tagline only for the strong. And the reason I put that in there was just, I came up with it again, just sitting thinking for a second. It's anabolic monster beef, so I'm thinking strong, and obviously the monster picture that we got looks like he's really muscly, and that's where the tagline came from. I generated it, again, just thinking it up for a couple of minutes. The font should feel strong as well, I've wrote here. For the image, the protein powder will be in the center, and then we will have a monster in the back, look like he's about to smash the tub with a hammer. Again, it looks like they've done a good job of this. The monster will look super muscly and strong. The overall image will look dark, but the protein top should, the protein tub, that should say, it says top, should pop. Can you help me refine this with 3 detailed variations of the image? So I gave it this prompt. I never asked it to generate me the image from the first get-go. Now that's a mistake I see a lot of people doing. They ask it just to generate the image straight away. I ask it to generate me its idea of a variation. And then when it does that, it gives me 3 to choose from. And then I just say, hey, perfect, choose variation 2. And then I say, use these 2 images, and then I attach the 2 images to it. I'll show you this at the end of this video, showing you how to do it live, just so, again, you understand it a lot better. But that's the first one. Again, this is actually one of my favorites. I think the AI done a super amazing job. This is something that potentially could take a graphic designer at least a few days to get it to this level, in my opinion. And this was the first image that it generated. So let's move on to the next one. So here's the next one. This is a toothbrush image. And if you've watched any of my videos before, which is obviously very unlikely because I don't post too much, but if you have watched it, you'd have seen I tried to generate a video ad using Sora, which is Chat GPT or OpenAI's video generation model. And in that video, it never done a great job. But in this case, the toothbrush image here, I think is done really well. So same thing, I gave it 2 images. This was the background image reference I gave it, and then I just gave it this toothbrush. None of these are my clients' stuff. I literally just Googled it again, electric toothbrush, and this is what it came up with. So there's 2 image variations that it gave me here. This was actually the first one, and you can see that it actually missed a part of the text in this case for some reason. I don't know why. And then all I asked it to do was to generate me a square version. That was the next prompt, and it generated this, feel the freshness, and then gave me the toothbrush here. I think this looks super cool and eye-catching as well. Maybe not too relevant to the product like a frozen toothbrush, but you get the idea. With a few adjustments, you can probably make this really, really good if you wanted. For the prompt, it's very similar. You'll see that the structure is the exact same. I give it the initial prompt, just asking it to generate me 3 detailed variations, and then I choose one after. So all I've done is literally change out some of the wording that I've got in bold here. So for this one, I have a brand that is a toothbrush brand, and we are selling as an electric toothbrush. I've got a couple of spelling mistakes in here, but that will be used for everyday use. The product is called Ice Teeth. I just made this up again. It's not an actual brand or business. I told it that I'm looking to make Facebook ads just so it's got that reference. I told it again just the overall structure of the creative. So the toothbrush is in the center with the text on top. And then I gave it a bit more details here. So the text will be white with light blue and bold with a tagline, "Feel the freshness," in all caps. The font should feel strong and should look like it's made of ice. So it's kind of got that here. It looks quite good. And should be slightly see-through. It should be clean and portray high quality, but should look like it's icy, it should say. Again, spelling mistakes. Quickly done this one, just copying and paste it. For the image, the toothbrush will be in the center, and then we will have the glacier water / background during the day. The toothbrush will look like it's floating and should look like it's slightly freezing. So it's kind of nailed that slightly freezing part on both of them. And it should blend with the background perfectly. And I think it's done that as well. The overall image will look bright, high quality, and feel really crisp. And then again, I've just asked it for 3 detailed variations of that. In terms of the variations in text, this is not variations in images. It's gave me variations of text. Then when it's given me those variations, I choose one and give it the 2 images, and then it's generated these. So this one's not too bad. Again, maybe not too relevant, but the overall quality, in my opinion, very good for what it's done. Okay, and here is the final image I want to run over just before we go into showing you a live example. I'm doing this with a product that I've actually never tested it on to show you how well the prompt actually works on ChatGPT. So for this one, this was for a pillow brand. Again, not a client of mine. I just Googled pillow on Google, looked at the images, found this one, and then took that with the prompt that is on the left-hand side here. So the images that I got was this pillow here. I thought this stood out just because of the shape of it rather than a generic pillow. And then the other one I got here was like the gates of heaven with clouds round about it and like light coming through the top of it. So that was the idea that I had, at least in my head, of some imagery for this product. So one thing just to point out about this, look how cool the text is on this one. It made it out of clouds, and it also kind of gave this sort of slight curve to it, which I thought was cool. But one thing it didn't do too well here was the actual shape of the product kind of does not look the same, in my opinion. It's got this part here, which I'm not too sure where this is from, if it's looking at it from a front view. But overall, it done a good job. I think you would just need to continue prompting this to get the actual product more accurate on here. Another thing to point out is I asked it for some icons at the bottom with some benefits, and I think it done a good job of the placement here, as well as add like this sort of curvature background with a blur on the sides as well. So let's quickly look over the prompt. It's very similar to everything else that we've done, so there's no major changes. I've just changed out some of the key information, like the pillow brand, basically what we're selling. I gave it a name, made up again, Vibe Pillow, which is completely random. This is what I've told it. The image should be like the pillow in the center with the text on top. And then this time, a little bit different. I said, we'll have 3 icons down the bottom with headline benefits. I never told it what the benefits were. It just gave me them when I put this prompt in. The text will be white and bold with the tagline "Feels like heaven," all caps. The font should feel strong and should be in the shape of clouds, like as if it was writing is made from fluffy clouds, sorry. So I think it's done an amazing job of that as well. For the image, the pillow will be center, and then we will have heaven in the background, like up in the clouds with a nice lighting. The pillow will look like it's glowing, kind of got that with some glows in the black, and the sun rays as if it's God sent. The overall image will look bright and comforting, and I think it's done an amazing job at that, especially with some of the colours it's chosen as well. And then at the bottom, same thing, I've just asked it to give me text variations of basically what I've prompted it above, and it gave me those 3 variations, and I chose one that I thought looked best. So I think it's overall very cool. It's probably my second favourite. The first is obviously the monster. But yeah, they're all amazing. Something that would take a graphic designer, I think, a few days to at least get it looking very similar to this. And this is still very early stages in the image generation part of ChatGPT. It's only going to get better and faster moving forward. So that's it for this image. The next thing we want to do is basically try this on our own in ChatGPT. So this is what we're going to do. I've just found another generic product, which is this sort of diving face mask. And then I've got this image here on the right, which is someone diving under the water. What I want to do is take the prompt that I've shown you before, this one. I'll copy and paste this into ChatGPT, and then I will edit it live just so we can get an idea of how this was done, and we'll see what it generates. Hopefully it will be good, but we'll see in the next part. So let's move on to that now and see how we go. All right, so here we are in ChatGPT, and I've got the prompt already set up here and ready to send to see what we generate. So let me quickly run through it for the diving mask that I showed you on the last slide there. So I have this brand, it's a diving brand, and the product we are selling is a full diving face scuba mask. The product is called Blue Explorer. So again, I just made this up. It's not an actual brand. I'm thinking of image ad ideas I could make for Facebook ads. I was thinking the image should be like the diving mask in the center with the text on top and the three icons down the bottom with headline benefits. This time I added this in because I seem to be getting mixed values. Sometimes it becomes square, sometimes it's like story format. So the image should be 1080 pixels wide by 1920. The text will be white and bold with the tagline Blue Explorer all caps. The font should feel strong and should be all white and look like light from the water is reflecting on it. We will also have a subheadline. This is something I've never tried before either, giving it two lines of text. And a little smaller saying full face mask in all white bold text. So it'll be interesting to see if it gets this right as well. For the image, the diving mask will be the center, and then we will have a deep blue ocean in the background. You will be able to see the top of the ocean like a side-on view with light beams coming down. The mask will be in the water, but will be very clear to view. The light beams will highlight the mask. The overall image will look bright, bold, and adventurous using different tones of blue, dark, and light. Again, I've repeated this. The image should be 1080 pixels wide by 1920. And then what I've asked it is, can you refine me this with 3 detailed variations of the image? So let's see what we get here by sending it this. So first it's going to give us 3 variations that we then choose one from, exact same as I've done for every other image. And this prompt is the exact same as well. I've just changed out some of the key info. So here we go. It gave us 3. Variation 1, the descent. So we'll quickly scan these. Emphasizes the moment just beneath the surface, crisp, clear, inviting. The top of the ocean is clearly visible. Side profile light, that looks good. Centered, partially submerged facing. Okay, so it's saying that diving mask will be partially submerged, which is interesting. As if someone just dived in it, looking crystal clear, illuminated by beam. So that's quite good. Into the deep, focuses on the depth, adventure, visibility, and even in the darkest water. Ocean scene, floating dead in the center, so quite self-explanatory. And the last one, above and below, split style, showing what's above the waterline and what's below, giving a full immersive effect. The ocean is split across the horizontal center. Top half shows the surface. Okay, this one seems quite interesting, and it seems like it'll be actually more difficult than the other two. The other two seem safe. So let's actually try this one and give it the images. So the first stage is give it the prompt to get 3 variations, then choose one of the variations and then give it the images. So, okay, I would like to create a Facebook ad image using variation 3 above and below. Could you please use product image attached as well? Sorry, as well as the product I'm attached with the background image for reference. Oops, spelled reference wrong as well. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so I'm just going to find those images, upload them, literally just choose the images. This one and this one. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to click open. And then we're going to click send. So let's see what this does. This can take up like 1 to 2 minutes. So what I'll do is I'll just fast forward it here and we'll see what sort of image we get from this. Okay, so that is the image created, and personally, I think this looks incredible in my opinion. The only thing that maybe doesn't look too good is obviously the white here. It could have been the ocean in the back, but it kind of still makes it pop a little bit. But as you can see, it's like quite amazing. It's got the icons at the bottom, and it's made these benefits up like built-in GoPro mount, ultra clear vision, secure comfort fit. So super cool what it's done there. And yeah, this took about 2 to 3 minutes to generate. If you want to make other versions, you can continue prompting. But I hope that shows you just by using this prompt here, getting your first 3 variations. You can then choose one of those variations and then let it do its thing. And personally, I think this looks super high quality the more that I look at it. Feel free to use this prompt. Let me know how you got on. And thank you for watching this video. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks.